Golden Ear started out with a single speaker called the Triton, and in the last 10 years, they've expanded the Triton lineup to cover a pretty wide range of prices. Today, we'll go over the technologies all of the Triton models share and then get into the differences between them. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll have a good understanding of which model would be best fit for your room and your budget. If you want to read more about the Golden Ear Triton series, check out our full written review on our site by clicking the link in the description. There we take a deeper dive into each speaker and further break down the advantages of each model. Along with this review, you'll find hundreds of other reviews, comparisons, buyer's guides, and more at audioadvice.com. Now let's take a look at the Triton series by Golden Ear. One of Golden Ear's primary design goals is to present a three-dimensional audio image in front of us that makes us believe there are musicians standing in the room playing. To pull this off, a speaker must totally disappear, present a life-size sound stage, and reach down low enough to produce convincing deep bass. At Audio Advice, we generally find that if a speaker can excel at music, that it will generally perform well in theaters, whereas the reverse is not always true. Golden Ear has a full range of matching center channels, surround speakers, and Dolby Atmos capable in-ceiling speakers, so you can build a perfectly matched home theater. Every single Golden Ear Triton speaker uses their high-velocity folded ribbon tweeter design. Folded ribbon drivers are not unique to Golden Ear, as they're used by a few other high-performance speaker manufacturers and in some ultra-high-end headphones. Compared to traditional tweeters, this type of driver generally has a lower distortion with greater efficiency and improved dynamics. All Golden Ear Tritons also share the same mid-range, mid-bass driver technology. 4 of the 6 Triton models include built-in amplifiers for the bass drivers, which really sets them apart compared to most traditional tower speakers. Having built-in amplifiers allows Golden Ear to match the DSP-controlled amps perfectly to drive their quadratic bass drivers. The bass drivers are made with a composite glass fiber and no-mez cone material and have a very large 1.5-inch voice coil. They move a ton of air and are coupled to infrasonic radiators with a similar shape. The advantages of having built-in subwoofers in a speaker are substantial. First, for most rooms, you will not need to purchase a separate standalone sub. Plus, you get the advantage of having 2 subwoofers in the left and right speakers, which really helps smooth out the room's bass response compared to having one sub maybe sitting over in a corner. Additionally, when you're trying to get sound that reaches way down into the lowest octaves, you don't have to worry about blending a subwoofer from another brand. You'll have plenty of control over the bass output with the powered Triton towers, as they include a volume adjustment for the subwoofer output. In my opinion, one of the biggest things that sets Golden Ear apart from other speakers is that you're just paying for performance versus fancy and expensive outer cabinets. This is one of the reasons Golden Ear has been a darling of reviewers and won so many awards at each price point. The Triton tower design is basically like having one large grill cloth pulled over the cabinet without putting money into a fancy wood finish. For many people, this functional and clean look is exactly what they want. The very slender cabinet also adds to their ability to throw out a big 3-dimensional soundstage. All the Tritons come with a nice set of spikes, which we highly recommend on carpet to keep them from rocking. Now let's get into each of the speakers in the Triton series to help you understand the differences as you move up the line. First up is the Triton 7. These guys stand just shy of 40 inches tall, but are less than 6 inches wide, which means the dual 5.5-inch mid-bass drivers have virtually no chance of cabinet diffraction. They come with a bigger pedestal base that has a somewhat tilted back appearance. The 7 uses the same high-velocity folded ribbon tweeter as most of the other models, which has an effortless, extended sound quality. The deep bass is augmented with 2 side-mounted 8-inch sub-bass planar radiators. They are rated at a sensitivity of 89 dB, but to our ears, they're easier to drive than the specs imply. We do think you should position them, like all Tritons, out in the room and a bit away from the sidewalls to get the best 3-dimensional soundstage. Next up is the Triton 5. When you compare the 5s and the 7s, you immediately notice the deeper bass, more dynamics, and a slightly bigger sound field. The Triton 5s have the exact same tweeter as the 7s, but are supported with two 6-inch cast basket mid-range bass drivers. You also get double the number of radiators with two on each side. You do need to get the 5s a bit more breathing room than the 7s for the best performance. If you want to take what the 7s do so well, but with more punch and dynamics, the 5s are a great choice. On the other hand, if you mostly like jazz or acoustic or love a great three-dimensional soundstage, the 7s are probably your best choice, as you will not need the extra bass, and many on our team think that they image a little better with the thinner cabinet in closer listening positions. Now on to the Triton 3 Plus. The Triton 3 Plus is the first of the Triton models with built-in powered subs. It is also the first true three-way system with a dedicated tweeter, mid-range, and bass driver. The tweeter is the only driver shared with the Triton 5 and 7, as all the others get upgrades in the Triton 3 Plus. The mid-range driver is their high-definition version and is 4¼ inches. This is coupled to the powered 5-inch by 9-inch long-throw quadratic bass driver. The Triton 3 Plus stands at 44 inches tall, but is only 5¼ inches wide at the front. Starting here, all the Tritons get a curved cloth-covered grille, which to our eyes makes them look even skinnier. The tapered cabinet grows to 7 inches wide at the rear and houses one oval-shaped radiator on each side. When you move into the 3 Plus level and up, the built-in amplifier really allows you to fine-tune the bass output to match your room. Moving up from there is the Triton 2 Plus. Think of this as the 3 Plus for a larger room. With the 2 Plus, you'll get two of the same high-definition mid-range drivers and two of the same powered bass drivers. They also increase the size of the radiators to 7 inches by 10 inches with one on each side. If your room is under around 15 feet by 20 feet, you'll probably be happy with the 3 Plus. For larger rooms, the 2 Plus will fill up the room better and provide you with more bass slam. When you move to the 1R, which I've got right next to me here, you are changing the game. The 1R pulls a lot of technology from the top of the line Triton Reference and is quite different from the 2 or 3 Plus. First, the tweeter is an improved model with more extension and transparency. Its magnetic structure is 50% larger than the previous models. It is super open and extended with never any sense of harshness. You'll get two specially designed 5¼ inch cast basket mid-range drivers. For the powered bass drivers, these are the same as the ones in the 2 Plus, but you'll get 3 of them mounted to the front, coupled with 4 of the same passive infrasonic drivers used in the 2 Plus. At 54 inches tall, the Triton 1R is definitely going to look pretty big in your room. The 1R and Reference are the only two models with gloss black side panels. Finally, we have the Triton Reference. This is the speaker many reviewers have compared favorably to speakers costing 5 times its price. It represents the pinnacle of what GoldenEar sound is all about. And while $10,000 is by no means inexpensive, you get a ton of sound for what you pay. The Reference uses the same tweeter as the 1R. There are two 6-inch mid-range mid-bass drivers in separate internal enclosures. The 3 powered bass drivers are physically larger at 6 inches by 10 inches. They also have a much larger magnet structure and longer throw for more bass impact. GoldenEar developed a new infrasonic radiator for the Super Sub X, which is retooled and used in the Reference. You'll get 4 10.5 by 9.5 inch radiators in the Reference. These speakers have extensive internal bracing to dampen all of that bass energy they can put out. The Reference has an almost perfectly flat frequency curve all the way down to 20 Hertz, which is something you'll really have to experience to fully appreciate. Their high sensitivity of 93.5 dB also means you'll hear all those little subtle dynamic changes easily. If you're a listener who wants to experience that magical three-dimensional sound with great dynamics and bass impact, GoldenEar is a great choice. AudioAdvice actually was so impressed with the price performance of GoldenEar that we were part of its original launch and have been one of the largest experts and sellers of their speakers ever since. Every single model offers far more sound for the money than most of the competition, and it is super easy with their large variety of matching home theater speakers to put together a great surround sound system using Tritons as the main left and right speakers. If you have any questions on any of the speakers in the Triton series or any other home audio or home theater gear, be sure to give us a call, Chat with one of our experts at audioadvice.com or stop into one of our Raleigh or Charlotte, North Carolina showrooms. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss the latest home audio and home theater content. We'll see you next time.